Switch to Verizon Business and get more from your internet without paying more for your internet. Get LTE Business Internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data, and with it, unlimited possibilities. Start saving today with Verizon Business, ranked #1 in small business internet customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Starting price for 25 megabits per second LTE internet plan with smartphone plan savings, plus taxes, fees, and economic adjustment charge. Terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Out here, there's no one way of doing things. No unwritten rules. And no shortage of adventure. Because out here, the only requirement is having fun. Bank of America invites kids 6 to 18 to golf with us. For a limited time, sign them up for a free 1-year membership, giving them access to discounted tee times at thousands of courses. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/golf with us. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Restrictions apply. See BofA.com/golf with us for complete details. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
Hello, and welcome to the Artist Pivot Podcast. On this episode, I am joined by the multi-talented Dale Novella Anderson Lee, who happens to be a funk songwriter and teaching artist. Dale shares her journey of navigating the arts world while staying true to her beliefs and community values. From her early passion for music and songwriting inspired by family performances, to her exploration of teaching artistry and the therapeutic aspect of the arts, Dale discusses the ups and downs of her creative path. She imparts wisdom on the importance of saying no to opportunities that don't align with personal values and embracing hobbies for a balanced life. She offers candid insights into the pivots and self-discoveries that have shaped her career and the continuous learning process she champions for other artists seeking alignment and success in their journeys. My biggest takeaway from this episode is that if you seek alignment in pivoting or to discover what's next for you in your career and life, the pieces really will fall into place. All right, let's get into this episode.
Hello, this is Dale Novella, and I'm on the Artist Pivot Podcast.
Come take a listen and let your inner artist play. Creating your dreams step by step every day. If you're feeling lost and don't know what to do, always remember that you can pivot to the Artist Pivot. The Artist Pivot. We Audition is the video chat community where actors can audition, self-tape, rehearse, and get expert industry advice. Get instant self-tape readers through video chat, browse through the dedicated actor meditations, podcasts, and books, meet casting directors in the virtual green room, and also make money by becoming a reader for other actors. If you join We Audition and use code PIVOT, you will receive a 25% discount on your membership. Yes, that's right. We Audition and the Artist Pivot have partnered to bring you this discount. From my own experience, I love being a reader for other actors, and We Audition is so convenient for me when I need a reader myself. Again, if you join We Audition and use the code PIVOT, you will receive 25% off your membership. Link in the show notes. All right, y'all. So today on the podcast, first of all, let me just give you a precursor, y'all. I am getting over a little something, a little bug, and I'm doing my best to be on the microphone today because I really, really wanted to speak to my guests. So please forgive me if, I sound a little hoarse, but I'm trying to be in my lower register for this interview. But joining me, y'all, I'm very excited to say, is Dale Novella Anderson Lee. Welcome to the Artist Pivot.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, you're so very welcome. And I'm excited to have you. So I'm going to start with my 2 favorite questions. And they are, 1, have you had enough water today? How are your hydration levels? And 2, if I texted you right now and said, Dale, how you doing? How you feeling? What's going on? But you could only respond in emojis only, what would you text me?
Okay, so first, my hydration is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to push myself to drink 80 ounces of water a day. So I have
All right.
a 40-ounce thermos.
Yeah.
And I try to get through 2 of those.
Yeah.
And I think I'm almost finished with 1.
Okay.
So yesterday I had already refilled and I was drinking on my second one. So I'm a little behind today.
Yeah.
But so my hydration is okay.
Okay.
As far as emojis, lately I've been saying when people ask me how I'm doing, I just say I'm alive.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what emoji that would be. Like, would that be like a little angel? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we could go different emojis with that. That could be a smiley face. That could be an angel. That could be, the girl. I like to use her with the hands like this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It could be, you're open to that, but I'll take the angel. I'll
Yeah.
take the angel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be a thumbs up.
Oh, yes.
A simple thumbs up.
Yes. A simple thumbs up. I'm here for that. Yeah. Thank you for that imaginary text. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And lately I've been saying, how are you doing? I said, you know what? I'm alive and well. That is I'm alive and well. And if I really know the person, then I'm like, I am safe and I have everything I need. And this is where I'm at. This is I'm just gonna sit in that, being grateful for that because I'm alive.
Because it's 2025.
Well. Because
and what else can you be?
Because girl, it's 2025 and it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Like, I think it's surpassed. We had kind of overused the word unprecedented back in the pandemic. It has surpassed unprecedented.
Yeah. You either just don't talk about it or you're just like, I don't know what's happening. I can't pay attention to the news anymore. I just can't,
You're right.
So
Yeah, you're right. I can't make it make sense. And I'm not going to try to make it make sense.
No.
Yes. Yes.
It's going to go to brunch.
Listen, just going to go to brunch. I'm just going to light a candle and read a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just going to leave my best friend voice notes.
Yep. I'm going to talk to my cat. For me, I think both me and my husband are just like, but I don't know what else to do. I've done everything that I can do. I can just they say there's only two things you have to do. So those are the two things.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. And that reminded me, I saw the other day, I think it was Tiffany Haddish. I hope I'm not misquoting the video I saw. Tiffany Haddish, and someone asked her, "How are you?" And she was like, "I'm successful." And the girl was like, "What?" Tiffany was like, "I woke up today, so I'm successful." I was like,
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I woke up today. I'm successful. Yes. Yep. I love it. I love it. So y'all, Dale is a funk songwriter. Yes, ma'am. And a teaching artist. And as you know, Dale, I talk to artists, creatives, those in and around the arts about, how we pivot in regular times, right? But now in the dumpster fire of times as artists and people who are creatives, and how we're surviving. I hope one day thriving. And the life lessons learned right along the way of this thing we call being an artist. So my first question to you would be have you always been in the arts, or was that something that you happened upon?
I have always been in the arts pretty much. I knew I wanted to be a songwriter starting at 6 years old. And I was always singing. I have two older sisters, and we would always dress alike. Well, people would make us dress alike. I should say that. But since we had matching outfits, we would perform Motown songs for my mom's friends and things like that. And yeah, it was all I ever really wanted to do. All I ever really wanted to do was music and be a songwriter. And I had these dreams of pushing Diane Warren out of the way and saying, I am now the most successful songwriter of all time. I have 200 number ones on different Billboard charts, So I've always been in the arts. I played saxophone all through high school. I thought I would go to HBCU, and then at the last minute, I decided not to. And I went to the University of South Carolina, majored in media arts, and got more into the tech side of it. Started making beats, started like video editing, things like that. Got into radio, and I worked in radio after college as a producer and an audio assistant.
Yes.
And then I started working with artists in South Carolina. That's where I grew up, Southern girl.
Yes.
So I started working with other artists, writing and performing with and things like that. Started performing spoken word. And eventually I moved up here and continued doing a lot of the things I was doing in New York as an independent artist and then producing events. I also worked at a jazz club. And then I wanted to make sure that my artistry, one, that the job that I had was contributing to my artistry, because I was like, it's kind of up and down as a songwriter. You never know if you're going to make money or if you're just going to be, doing it on your own for the rest of your life. So I wanted to make sure whatever I was regularly doing for money was tying into my belief system, and that I could give back to the community some kind of way. So that's how I got interested in teaching artistry. I thought about music therapy as well. But I think I didn't want to do that much paperwork. Ironically, now I do more administration. But I didn't want to write about, my students like I was observing them. So I know that is a necessary part of any therapeutic practice, as if you are a therapist. But I didn't want to be the one doing that. So I was like, teaching artistry, that sounds good. I went through a training program, which is the training program I now am one of the co-directors for. And since then I've been teaching the arts. I left the jazz club and I'm still performing and things like that, but I'm always trying to find a balance, like a lot of teaching artists.
Yes, correct. Yes. Gotcha. So in your, I guess I'm gonna say unfolding of your career, right? Was there a point in that you were like, oh, I have to make sure, and I like the way you put this, that my artistry or a different job that I have to work supports my belief system, right? And also helps and benefits my community. Did you come to that decision like, oh yeah, no brainer, that's not rocket science, great, this is what I'm going to do? Or was there a little pushback from your ego, right? Because sometimes I'm like, in pivoting, we get pushback from our ego because we think we're going to go one way, but life's forcing us to go in a different direction. Or did you just like choose?
Yeah, I think there's always a little bit of pushback from the ego. Yeah, I could definitely say there would be, because I think in the back of my head, I was thinking, well, if I just sing more, I just need to push myself to sing more. I'm very introverted. And so like being a performer is not natural to me. People who are like born entertainers, I wouldn't say I'm a born entertainer. Like I see like being on stage singing as more like I'm having a conversation with the audience. And the more I thought about it that way, the easier it was for me to perform. But so I think when I started thinking about what I could be doing to align my practices with my jobs with my beliefs, I was thinking, well, I just need to sing more. And I was kind of very hard on myself about that, which Virgo, it happens. And I think I started, like I said, I started getting interested in music therapy. So I started putting together qualifications to go to graduate school for music therapy. And one of the qualifications is to have a certain amount of volunteer hours in a art therapy or music therapy program. So doing that made me say like, no, I think I really want to do this. I really want to do arts therapy. I really want to do this field. And it's not I know sometimes we put a lot of energy into the thing that's close to the thing that we want to do.
Yes.
And that experience of volunteering was like, no, this is another step in what you're supposed to be doing. It's not a thing that's close to what what you should be doing. It's just another part of it.
Ooh. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I heard that. Yes, that it's a step in what you're supposed to be doing, not adjacent to it, right? Not going, oh, I'm going to do this for now, but I really want to maybe still do that. But you saw it as, no, the light bulb came on. You were like, oh, this is the next step to what I would like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love your explanation, right, about performing as having a conversation with the audience. And I don't want to say I'm the opposite, but I'm a born entertainer. Like I was that kid who made up shows in the living room and like forced my parents to watch, and my sister. And sometimes they did it willingly, sometimes probably not, but they did it, right? And I had my first cabaret last year. I premiered in the city, and it was a conversation with the audience, right? Like I called it my adult living room show. I'm like, welcome to my first adult living room show. Like I made it up and you're all here to watch it.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. But I know that everybody, right, like thinks of performing like I do that way.
Yeah. And I have friends that think of it that way, and they have a hard time seeing the way I view performing.
Yeah.
Where they're like, so you just don't, like, you see an open mic, like a literal open mic, and you don't just want to like get on it. And I'm like, not really.
No.
like if the scenery is not really my vibe, if I don't really have anything prepared or anything that I feel like I need to say, I don't feel like I have to like run and like entertain. But I have friends who do, and they love it, and you know, they do really well for themselves, and I'm like, go get it. Get it, girl.
You got it. Go ahead. But you're like, not me, get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, I try to be very intentional about where I spend my time, which I know, like, you know, the older you get, that just comes with the territory.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think for me, it was always like, no, it needs to be very specific. I don't feel good about saying yes to everything.
Oh, I'm going to we're going to talk about that right there. So not feeling good about saying yes to everything. I am going to speak for myself, and I had to learn that. And of course, getting older, right? Like I'm in my late 30s now. That comes with age of like, you know, you don't have to say yes to everything. If it don't vibe with you, if it don't match, if it's not in alignment, if it don't make you feel, if it makes you like squirm, girl, say no. But I also think as artists, there's this like, what's the word I want to use? Like desperation mindset, if you will, no matter what part of the industry you're in, and you feel like you have to say yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. And so have you always had that discernment of like, I'm going to say no?
No.
Okay.
It took a while. It was kind of like a nagging feeling in the back of my head, like I should say no to this, or I should say yes to this, or yeah. And sometimes I'd try to talk myself. There were plenty of times I talked myself into networking in certain places that I didn't feel like were right for me, or singing at different events that I was like, this isn't my vibe. So it took a while. Like I would say, I mean, I feel like I'm still feeling around. There's sometimes I'm like, I would like to go here. I really don't think it's for me. Like when I step back and I'm like, I can just go and enjoy that.
Yeah.
But I don't have to like push to perform there.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that. And again, I think that comes with age and wisdom, right? And like knowing it's okay. Like no is a full sentence.
Yes.
And not letting your own thoughts bully you, right? Like nobody else hears these conversations in our head about you should go and you shouldn't go and why didn't you go to this networking event and nobody else but us hears that.
Yes, exactly. No one else hears that. And it's, I mean, unless you let them, like you're arguing with yourself, then there's, you know.
That's a whole different.
If you're arguing with yourself in public, then maybe you should definitely not go, and you should probably take a
Yeah.
nap. Like, that's what at least for me. For me, that's what I know I need a nap.
Right.
But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get through those intrusive thoughts or those.
Mm.
I was recently given a piece of advice that those are the thoughts that try to keep us safe. Like we think of them as intrusive thoughts or critique or whatever, but we're just trying to keep ourselves safe.
Yeah.
And it's like taking a moment to ground and know what's good for you and what's not good for you.
Exactly. And knowing that you are safe in this moment, right? And it's like, I know what these thoughts are trying to do, but I am safe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sifting through, as my therapist would say, so let's sift through these. Or just let it all go. Just throw the whole thing out.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So I would like to know about when you are, teaching your youth and your adults and everybody that you come in contact with, is there anything that you feel like this is like my stamp or like my passion about telling my teaching artist or those that I work with in the arts? Like if someone is taking a class with you and they hear someone outside say, "Oh, yep, you've taken a class with Dale." Like she said that that's her thing. That's what she does.
I don't know if I have like a catchphrase or anything like that, but I know whenever I'm a facilitator, I try to concentrate on self-love, self-love and acceptance.
Yeah.
And I try to concentrate on having a culturally responsive lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And building, if I'm doing a one-off, I'm starting with my culture, but I'm like leaving enough room to talk about the other cultures that are in the room, comparing and contrasting and like seeing those similarities.
Yeah.
And if it's a full like 13-week residency with youth or like with the Teaching Artist Project, which is an 8-month program, really getting to know the cultures that are in the room and encouraging them to put that into their own cultures, into their art and into their teaching practice.
Yeah.
And knowing that you can encourage that in the classroom, and that is a form of social justice. Self-love and acceptance is a form of social justice, and it does lead to respect for others and being able to talk about similarities and differences between cultures or ideologies and things like that. So
yeah. Oh, yes.
I hope that's what people get from me.
Yes. And so with that, how did you, because you said you're the co-founder, correct?
I'm co-director right now, but not co-founder. Our founder is Michelle Kotler, and we were founded 25 years ago. So I'm happy to be in the legacy of Teaching Artist Project.
Yes. Oh, I love that. And so how do you find with the basis that you have of like including others' cultures in being a facilitator and teaching others, what have you found to be like the most rewarding thing, being able, to learn about people? Because we think we know, but then I'm sure you had a whole experience of like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I always like a light bulb moment. I always love seeing how people take what I'm teaching and what my co-facilitators are teaching and make it their own. We have like lesson plan presentations every spring with our trainees, and seeing them come up with original lesson plans, sometimes for the first time ever, like, and seeing how they might be interacting with each other, because we have a co-facilitation model. There's always two teaching artists teaching at the same time. So when they are presenting their lesson plans, it's two of them presenting. And so knowing that they came together many times with different art forms to create not only a lesson plan, but a teaching path. It's inspiring. And it's like I'm happy to have led them there or helped get them there. And also we like to say, me and my co-facilitator, like to say permanently borrowing things. So we get ideas for our students as well.
Yes.
Like when we go back to youth, we're like, okay, yes, we're going to do that.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
so,
Oh, I love that. I'm just gonna permanently borrow that. Thank
yes,
you.
yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. May I take that phrase from you?
Yes, of course. Take it.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I'm gonna permanently borrow that from you. I love it. I love it. Um, so would you say that there has been any point in your life, career, whether, as your artist self, as your just like human self, that you have had to pivot, right? Voluntarily or involuntarily, because sometimes life just lifes, right? And within that, like, how did you handle it? And what like life lessons do you think came out of it?
There have been a few times that I've had to pivot.
Mhm.
I knew I would want to pivot into arts administration at some point. Like
Okay.
my minor in college was business administration. I
Yeah.
looked up to, even though music execs are, are sleazy,
Mhm.
I looked up to L.A. Reid, and I looked up to mostly L.A. Reid.
Mhm. Yeah.
Let's just say L.A. Reid
Sure.
and not talk about the other people I looked up to. I can
Yeah.
say Berry Gordy. Berry Gordy
Mhm.
is not that bad.
No.
Um, uh, so I always knew that I wanted to be entrepreneurial, and I
Mhm.
wanted to be in the business side. I've had a lot of experience in different uh, entertainment
Mhm.
sectors of being like the office manager or
Mhm.
the floor manager and the night manager.
Mhm. Mhm.
So many different ways. And
Yes.
also having my own LLC. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I know I can do administration. And so that was a pivot that I kind of like welcomed and
Mhm.
just went into as the
Mhm.
opportunities arose.
Mhm.
Um, Lately, I've also just had a lot of health problems. Like I've had a lot
Mhm.
of women's health, reproductive problems
Yeah.
that have caused me to step away from the classroom
Yeah.
as a youth educator. So
Okay.
like even this school year, we started in September. I have
Mhm.
not had a class with youth, which
Yeah.
is this is my first school year where I probably will not teach any youth this year,
Mhm.
not in an extended residency,
Yeah.
which is for a lot of different reasons. But
Mhm.
I couldn't commit to more than one day because of these health issues, and
Yeah.
um, it's just something you have to kind of like work through, like every day,
Mhm.
just take it as it comes and say,
Yeah.
okay, today I'm here, I'm
Mhm.
alive,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna work through it.
Yeah.
And whatever happens, I will prepare the best I can and just
Yes.
have no expectations.
Right.
So
Right. Be in the land of acceptance.
yes. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Understood. And so I want to ask you about you being a yogi as well,
Mhm.
because I love that. I am a yogi. I am not like formally certified or trained, but I'm like, I feel like I should. I've been in yoga class for the last like 20 years.
Yeah, do it.
So I'm like, I should. But have you infused that into, well, first of all, I guess, how did you get into yoga? But then secondly, have you infused that into your teaching artist?
Yeah, I definitely have infused it into my teaching artist. Even my
Mhm.
when I got my certification,
Mhm.
I did Breathe for Change, which is specifically for educators. It's
Okay.
so they have workshops that will teach you like philosophy of yoga. They'll teach you the asanas and they'll teach you meditation techniques. But you
Mhm.
also take classes from certified yoga instructors who are classroom teachers, who are like
Mhm.
full-time classroom teachers,
Okay.
and learn how they incorporate it into their classroom. You get like a big
Nice.
workbook
Yeah.
that you could fill out lesson plans and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, so most definitely, and it shows up mostly as like sound healing and meditation, and like leading into kind of like a brainstorming activity into whatever art making you're gonna do.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and I got into yoga as like a 12-year-old. I was
Mhm.
watching PBS one morning,
Yeah.
and they had a program on PBS that ran for like 30 years with this like very small white woman who seemed very nice. And I was
Yes.
like, she's like 65 in a
Mhm.
pretzel. I could do that. I can do that. I can do that.
I can do this.
And so I started yoga that way. It was like I think the programs were originally just like 30 minutes at like
Mm-hmm.
6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and I kept with it pretty well throughout high school,
Okay.
college, not as much,
Yeah.
but I worked as as the front desk manager at the college gym.
Yes.
And so I got to take classes for free. So
Ooh.
I started taking yoga classes again in college.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, young adulthood, I just started watching like a bunch of YouTube because at that point, YouTube finally, was invented and became a
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. And then I
Yeah.
think I started going to classes, live classes again once I moved to New York,
Mm-hmm.
it's been 13 years now.
Okay.
Um, and I would still do yoga on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got my yoga certification.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh, I love that so much. I started in like college. That's when it was introduced. Actually, I think Tai Chi was introduced to me first by one of our
Mm.
acting teachers, and then yoga. And I was like, oh, I really like this. And I remember also in grad school, we had a movement teacher that was really focused on yoga, and like the connection to your body, and a voice teacher who did
Mhm.
that as well. And I was like, oh, this has to stay in my life, right? For like
Yeah,
exercise, but also just like me as an artist, as a person, as all of the things. Um, yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever gone to uh oh my gosh, I'm just blanking. Um uh Yoga in Bryant Park.
I haven't every
Mhm.
time I was supposed to so many
Uh-huh.
times. And
Yeah.
then I was even supposed to do a kids yoga workshop
Mhm.
with the studio that hosts those workshops. And
Yeah.
then it just never works out for me.
Yeah.
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 It's I love doing yoga outside, and I was just like, "Well, if I can't
Mhm.
make it there, I'll just go, I'll go on my
Mhm.
own." So I've
Mhm.
taken my own yoga mat to, like,
Okay.
whatever park was closest by and done
Yeah.
yoga in the park by myself.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but
Gotcha.
no.
Gotcha. No, I love yoga outside too. And this year, well, no, okay, y'all, this is 2025. Last year, 2024, they streamed it. So it was in the park and then they also streamed it. And it was great because I was like, oh, sometimes I can't make it into the city. So great, I
Mhm.
can stream it. But I've been doing my best to like do that yoga in the park because it's free, right?
Yeah.
And it's just so many people, and you're like, oh yeah, like this is great. I love
Yeah, nice
this.
little community.
Mm-hmm.
We're all breathing together.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. Yes.
Mhm.
Um, so I guess my next question to you would be, what would be your like nugget of wisdom or words of advice or even something
Mhm.
you're still working on. You're like, this is my advice. I'm still working on it myself though. For artists who want to pivot, who want to maybe add on to their careers, who want
Mhm.
to trust like you that the step they're making is toward what they're supposed to be doing and not adjacent, what would be like your nugget of wisdom?
My negative wisdom is don't I don't know if this is a nugget of wisdom, but
Mhm.
what I wanna say
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
is that, uh, just never stop learning about the things that you really love,
Mhm.
because when you aren't afraid to learn, whether you're just, like, asking a friend for help, a mentor for help, or you're taking a class, it can give so much clarity, or just having conversations about, like,
Yeah.
"I've been thinking about this and this and this." Like mastermind groups, free classes, even classes are things
Mhm.
you feel like you do every day. Like I try to take business classes a couple times a year, like on marketing, on like
Mhm.
accounting, just to keep sharp.
Mhm.
I've been meaning to take some
Mhm.
like audio engineering classes, not because I don't know how to audio engineer, just because like you
Right.
want to see the latest things. And when you really love something,
Mhm.
there's always more to learn about it.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
that can give a lot of clarity when you're pivoting, and it can give kind of like an anchor too. It's like
Yeah.
reinforcing this is what I really love, or
Mhm.
that is just something that can be an anchor while you are pivoting. It can be,
Mm.
because in
Yeah.
basketball, you pivot on one foot moves.
Yeah.
1 foot.
Right.
So
Yes.
yeah, I think like, yeah, for
Yeah.
example, like I have a media arts degree, and for a while I was doing photography, and I was doing headshots. I was just
Yeah.
taking headshots of friends. I was like, you can't afford that photographer, I will just do it for, $50 and I'll just send you all. I'll edit like 3 or 4 of them, but I'll send you all like 500 photos that I take or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can edit them yourselves if you want.
Yeah.
And I was like, even doing just little things like that felt distracting.
Ooh.
But it did also reinforce that I just like taking pictures. so I just need to go for a walk with my camera every once in a while and take some photos.
Right.
But I don't need to do it for money. And
Right.
if I still have a friend who really needs some photos, then I'll still do it for them. But I'm not going to advertise it or put a whole lot of effort into it. And that's like just something I learned going through it.
Yeah. Yeah, that right. Ooh, that you learned that it was distracting. You were just like, this is not, I just love to take photos. I don't need to make money off this. I don't need to make this a thing, right? And like, so I guess, would you say that photography is like a hobby of yours then?
Yeah, photography is definitely a hobby. And I feel like people frown on the word hobby.
They really do.
Yeah. And they're necessary.
Yes.
So it's a love. And it's a stress reliever.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
It's a stress reliever.
Yes. Yes.
And that's another thing. Like, don't try to make everything you do a monetary venture. Like,
say that again for the people in the back. Say it again. Say it again.
You do not have to make money off of every single skill. Like, pick the things that you're like, that's what I want to spend 80% of my time doing. That's the thing that you should charge for. But every single little skill that you can do,
right?
You do not have to make money off of it.
No, because you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what? No. Enjoy it. Because also, hobbies to me are what makes us full human beings. It's what gives us a full life, right? Like, okay, this is what I may do for income, and hopefully you like it. Like, I will say for us artists, we have the privilege and the blessing to actually like what we do for income, right? But also all of our other things that we like, our hobbies, make us full human beings. So got to give hobbies their flowers.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true.
Yeah. We got to give hobbies their flowers because it makes us full humans, right? We were like, oh, I lived a good life because I was interested in all of these things.
Yeah. And it just made you happy.
And it just
you weren't just your job.
Yes. You weren't just your job. But that's a whole nother conversation. That's capitalism that we were raised in. So that's a whole nother.
But it's also like, it's ironically also like some of the extreme forms of communism we've seen, where you're only the value you can give to the state. That's all you are. And it's like, I don't think that was the point of communism.
Where you're like,
I mean, I'm not the most well read up on, forms of communism or socialism, but I don't think that was what they were going for. But, if it works for you, I guess. Like,
if it works, okay. But don't think that's what you intended.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what you intended. Yeah. Okay. And I love what you said. I'm going to also put that in the show notes, y'all, of like, continue to learn, right? And that'll lead you hopefully on the path of like, this is a distraction or this is anchoring me, right? While I pivot, or anchoring me into something that I know I love and I should be going in this direction. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Dale, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. So before I let you go, where can everybody find you out here on the interwebs?
Well, I'm the only Dale Novella in the world.
Okay.
I like to say I've made sure, like I've taken care of the other ones. But yes, I'm the only Dale Novella in the world. So Dale Novella on YouTube or Dale Novella on Instagram. And then my website is daleNovellapresents.com. If you're interested in being more training as a teaching artist, you can hit me up and talk to me about Teaching Artist Project all day long. Yeah. So
all right.
That's it.
Perfect. I will put that in the show notes so it's easily clickable for everybody. And Dale, I must say to you that I acknowledge you, I celebrate you, and I uplift you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Oh, you're so very welcome. You're so very welcome. And coming up on the next episode of the Artist Pivot Podcast.
Hi, I'm Nasir Kenneth Furby, and this is the Artist Pivot Podcast. My life in New York was amazing, right? Because I'm born and raised in Philly, so I was literally like, a 2-3 hour train ride from my family, all of my siblings, my grandmother, my aunt, my mom, my dad, and my whole family's still in Philly to this day. I have one sister here that lives in LA now. But yeah, no, it could have been amazing. But I knew that sometimes you have to let go of the good thing to get the God thing. And sometimes you have to let go of the good thing to get the God thing.
This show is hosted and produced by me, Ayana Major Bay. Show editor is Kieran Niemant. Show theme song lyrics written by Ayana Major Bay and Melissa Victor. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this show with your friends.